Hello and welcome to live Barclays Women's Super League coverage of Manchester United versus Arsenal from Lee Sports Village. The host's faultless start came to an end last time out when former Red Devil Nikita Parris netted an equaliser for Brighton. Arsenal are yet to secure a full-time coach since the departure of Jonas Eidevall, but interim head coach René Slegers has guided the side to 2 wins since she's been in charge. Can they put an end to United's unbeaten form today? Fabulous early season form for Mark Skinner and his new look team. 100 games as a coach for him. A spotlight on him and his players this term after quite the come down last, and how they've responded. 4 wins in League and Cup, all with clean sheets before the first goal conceded and first points dropped in that draw at Brighton before the international window came to interrupt. A couple of weeks ago, you'd have definitely given them the edge in this fixture, with the Gunners out of sorts and out of form. But what about now? Both outings won since René Slegers took caretaker charge. This, however, will surely be a tougher test of that improvement than either Vålerenga or West Ham provided. In league terms, 2 wins, 2 draws and 1 damaging defeat to Chelsea that turned out to be the final game in charge for Jonas Eidevall. Those 2 victories they have had were away from the extra public glare at the Emirates Stadium. 3 points at Leicester in September and 3 more at West Ham last time out. So this is the first of a full fixture card this Sunday in the Barclays Women's Super League. Coming up immediately afterwards and throughout the day, we have Brighton and Hove Albion at home to Leicester, the newly promoted Crystal Palace against Manchester City, who've begun well. Tottenham Hotspur play West Ham United in a London derby. It's Aston Villa Liverpool and Everton at home to the champions Chelsea. Because the match between United and Chelsea didn't happen, it's a slightly imbalanced look, but they are still both up there, as you can see right now. If Manchester United win this game, for a little while at least, they will be top. Arsenal not accustomed to being 5th, that's for sure. Right now, City are top, but Chelsea have a game in hand and are just 1 point back. We've got some brilliant players on show for both sides here. We're going to have a little focus on some of them now. This is Grace Clinton, who was the Young Player of the Year in this league, went on loan with Tottenham Hotspur from United last term, but now she's a regular. An entirely newer name for this campaign is Elizabeth Turland, who's also come from Tottenham, but permanently. She's got 2 goals so far for her new club. And a regular at the back who never misses a game, an incredible attendance record for one still so young, Maya Le Tissier, who has Millie Turner next to her as ever, but the fullbacks this term and the keeper behind her are different. There's a wealth of attacking riches for the Gunners, who surely should be doing more, and they have that many options that they have quality on the bench and in the starting lineup. Frida Marnham there, taking advantage of the fact that there is no Miedemar anymore, but she does have Mariona Caldente for competition in that position too. At the back, returning today, is Leah Williamson, who ruptured her cruciate ligament at Manchester United couple of springs ago and missed so long out as a result. Captain of her country, but not of her club, because Arsenal's skipper is the great Kim Little, one of this league's greatest ever performers, now in the 8th season of her 2nd spell with the club. Somebody who knows what it is to go all the way and win the big medals. The last time these two met was the outlier. It was a cruise of a win for Arsenal. They were 3 up by half-time, all part of a really disappointing springtime drop-off for United as it was earlier this year. But that aside, the meetings have been great fun, full of goals and highly dramatic. The game here just over a year ago saw Arsenal in front early, United ahead late, and Arsenal pinching a point in the last seconds. The season before that was another ding-dong. It was won 3-2 by United in stoppage time, with Alessia Russo scoring that winning goal for United, and of course now she is wearing the changed colours of Arsenal against her former club. Arsenal were winless in 4 against United until that curiously comfortable February win over them at the Emirates. As November 24 kicks off for these two fine clubs, we're all wondering the same thing really. Can either seriously challenge Chelsea, as they have in recent campaigns? Here we go then. Bye-bye country. And hello again club. The WSL is back following international action. And it is back with a blockbuster for Manchester United and Arsenal. With champions Chelsea perfect so far. Crazy as it sounds, this already feels like a game neither can afford to lose really. And it is such a tough one to call. United terrific so far, Arsenal under par and therefore under new management. Games between these two are always entertaining, and even without the subplots that we have today, we have third against fifth with the rest of the division set to play later on. The team news is pretty simple because both starting 11s show just the one change from last time out. For United, that change is Aoife Mannion coming in, with Miyazawa dropping out. It's a fairly fresh look this season, with Tullis Joyce the new number 1. New recruits Janssen and Turland, while Grace Clinton is now a regular, having starred on loan at Spurs last season. We're told René Sleggers definitely takes the Gunners for the next handful of games at least. Her one alteration sees the England skipper Leah Williamson back into defence in place of Laia Codina. Up front, of course, is Alessia Russo, returning to the ground where she was so very good and so very much loved. Mark Skinner being presented with a memento to mark his 100th game in charge of Manchester United. Millie Turner also, who's chalking up number 150 today. Well, United have to be better this season, and so far they very much look it. His team were brilliant 2 campaigns ago, only losing out on the final day of the campaign, as Arsenal had done the season before. Mark Skinner knows he has to challenge this term. Jonas Eidevall knew the same, and Arsenal were not looking like challenging, and the change has come. René Sleggers not being drawn on whether she would even like the job permanently, never mind whether that's been discussed. I'm sure she would, not that she's going to tell us that. Some very familiar faces and some newer ones for this term. Mariona Caldente there for Arsenal. Quality signing and a greedy medal hoarder in her Barcelona days. Kirsty Dowell is the referee for the big one here. What a cracking game this should be as the Barclays Women's Super League resumes following the recent international break. Rousseau and Toon, best mates now on opposite sides. England colleagues all over the pitch. So much to look forward to here. Let's hope it lives up to the hype, because it really should be a good one. Third against fifth, here we go. And it's a match that ludicrously early in the season feels like must win for both, to be honest. A United win would put them top for now at least. The lead would be unlikely to last, with City and Chelsea both odds on to win themselves later this afternoon. But there is a statement to make regardless. That absolutely goes for Arsenal too. Are they in this fight or are they not? They definitely have the players. Most experienced of all, getting her first touch there, number 10, the captain, Kim Little. And here's the returning Williamson, with Steph Catley next to her. Came in for Williamson last time out at West Ham next to Laia Codina. New goalkeepers in terms of regular number ones at both clubs. That was Daphne van Domselaar, Arsenal's seemingly new first choice keeper, with Zinsberger demoted to the bench these days. Emily Fox at right back for Arsenal. Renee Schleger's a 100% record, if that's still the case 2 hours from now. She's only going to be enhancing her credentials to get the job permanently. Mark Skinner looks like he has the squad depth to mix it up a little bit more this season. He didn't do it much last season or the one before. He used to make, statistically speaking, the fewest changes of any coach in the league. Just the one today, with Mannion in for Hinata Miyazawa. Turland on the turn. Couple of goals already for her new club. Mannion hoists it in there, and Williamson got a good head on it. Nicely weighted pass for Gabby George here. Good challenge. First corner of the game, and it goes to the hosts. Two attackers on the goal line, the rest making their move now. The corner is a deep one towards Turner around the back, and that was her header. Another corner from the other side. Scored a massive goal in what was very much a title race at the back end 2 seasons ago. An 85th minute equaliser at Arsenal. The match they went on to win 3-2 with that Russo goal in stoppage time. Millie Turner and Maya Letitia, a perma-presence at the back and a threat from these. Gabby George takes corner number 2. A lot of defensive headers required for Arsenal in these opening minutes. United trying to really push on hard to begin with. There's Maya Letitia. Currently, Letitia in her 4th straight season of starting every single league match. That is incredible for an outfield player. It's pretty good for a goalkeeper. Started all 22 in each of the last 3, and all of them this time around as well. Aoife Mannion helping them out defensively today. It's such a nightmare couple of years with injury. Gabby George, to some extent, the same is true of her. Both starting today. Mannion. Worth a hit. Just about on target, I think, from Ella Toone. Hasn't scored yet this season. That won't be long in coming. Not that scoring goals is her only threat, obviously. Such a creative force, and indeed a hard grafter with it. A great combination. Rousseau and Laetitia. You've got England matchups everywhere here. Bizet pushing a little further forward today. Another signing from Tottenham, along with Turland and to some extent Grace Clinton, who was on loan with Spurs. Three of them reunited for United. Good feet from Bizet. The blatant foul from her there, Mariona Caldente. Lovely switch of play. This is Katie McCabe up from left back, and she sliced it. There were 4 up in the box for her as well. They got on with it. Wakey, wakey! Alessia Russo having a name chanted with a snapshot when no one was really paying attention. Maybe. Tallis Joyce had it covered. Maybe. United fans demanding a tackle. After a pretty sharp-looking pressurising start from United, Arsenal just getting some time on the ball now. Nice layoff from Russo. Frida Marnham tried to make some room for the shot. Gabby George is in. Lovely drop of the shoulder. Yeah, Balti doing that. Important header from Turner. It's United's turn to get the defensive headers in. Look at the strength of Turland there. Kim Little pulling her back, and I don't think she's going to get away with it. Cards coming out for the skipper. It's a cynical foul. It doesn't matter how early it is, sometimes that gets players led off. It shouldn't, and it hasn't here. First caution of the game. I doubt it will be the last. Nilsson helping it on. Cut out well by Williamson. Wasn't just a tackle, it was a super pass to Leah Valti. Here's Ford. Slightly different role today, playing on the right side of the attack. Keeps getting picked. Beth Mead left out again. Caldente getting the nod on the left. Clinton's challenge on Caitlin Ford. Great delivery. It's come to nothing, but you cannot ask any more of a ball in than that. That was superb. Bizet. Well read by Valti. He's done that job as well as anybody for so long now. There's a fair bit of competition herself in the Arsenal midfield. Interestingly, she seems to be more in the in crowd right now for Renee Slegers. Brought her back in next to Kim Little, maybe just trying to solidify things. Jona Zuiderweiler just started to not pick her every game. They were a permanent fixture as a duo in that midfield for so long. Just lately, Arsenal have had... Well, last term, Pelova was getting a lot of games in there, and Cooney Cross more recently. Mariona Caldente, nice idea. And that was Catley getting forward. This is Russo trying to find the room. Good effort. Really good effort. So beloved of these parts. And such an incredible record of scoring so many. 90% of her United goals came at this ground. Both her goals this season so far have come in Europe, yet to open the league account, but is now loitering and waiting for the latest Arsenal set piece. We do have X factors as an extra subplot in this game for sure. Too much on the corner. Dominic Janssen, a new signing for United in midfield. He's a regular starter for Arsenal the last time they won the WSL, 2019, before going to Wolfsburg, and now back in the English game. Kim Little's going to have to behave. I think the first tangle was McCabe's anyway. That is a super header. Really tough, coming over the shoulder. Steph Catley doing her owl impression. Seen much down the United left so far. Turland beaten to it by Fox, didn't go out of play. Throw in. Three goals already for Grace Clinton. They have gone in front in all 5 matches they've played in all competitions, Manchester United. And only once the opposition scored an equaliser, and it was the last game before the international break. The former forward Nikita Paris earning Brighton a draw. Haven't been behind yet this season. Started the campaign United with 3 wins out of 3 in the league, a cup win over Liverpool as well, all 4 with clean sheets before that 1-1 draw against Brighton. That is a seriously strong start. Arsenal have played a lot of games because of all the European qualifiers. Mark Skinner wants the chance to be back in that competition straight away, having missed out. And Slegers, well, we'll see what the future holds for her. The immediate future is at least the next 5 games, apparently. And just slows down for the first time. Nelson. Mannion. Letizia under pressure. It's almost on the short side, wasn't it, that pass? And Arsenal have won it high. That's excellent pressure. Frida Marnham. Right in between Ford and Russo. Across comes Nelson, and she's given it away. And then so has Fox, and maybe United can counter the counter. Derland beaten to it by the oh-so-reliable Steph Catley. Bizet. Done well to get the cross in. Williamson always seems to know where to be. Grace Clinton just timing that run nicely in the channel and ran out of room. Unused in the recent England match. Extraordinary ding-dong game against the Germans the other day, 4-3. Defeat for the Lionesses. Russo's overhit that one. And it's still taking some getting used to, not seeing Mary Earps in goal for Manchester United. Fallon Tullis-Joyce, the American, with some big boots to fill. Sat on the bench without being used in every single WSL game last season, just starting League Cup matches. But absolutely in the firing line now. But neither she nor Van Domselaar have had anything to do really in the opening 18 minutes here, even though some of the football's been pretty sharp. Decade through the system. Leah Williamson now, it's not just defensive capabilities, but so comfortable on the ball, as you've just seen with that effortless long-range pass there. Katie McCabe has got herself high. Little, Valti, Marnham out to Ford. Usually spotted bombing around the left wing, the Aussie, but on the right today. No margin for error with that kind of pass. The weight has to be so perfect. Sometimes they'll squeeze, sometimes they won't. This is in the latter. I don't mind Millie Turner being on the ball for now, and Gabby George, Letizia, but the pressure will come soon enough, probably now. Good first touch from Dominique Janssen. What a good signing to bring in from Wolfsburg. Lots of medals, so used to seeing Katie Zellem in there, and Hayley Ladd before that with her. One thing that doesn't change is Ella Toone in the number 10 role. Three wins out of 3 without conceding here at home, Manchester United. Their numbers dropped considerably last season. The season before, when they were so nearly champions for the first time, 9 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat in their 11 home games. It was so strong. Campaign in which they reached the cup final but were beaten. And then, of course, last term, the cup final again. They got their revenge against Chelsea at the semi-final stage and totally outclassed Tottenham to win 4-0, the club's first silverware. Arsenal have won the League Cup in both the last 2 seasons, so Eidevall got some silverware, but well, this is the one they'd really all love. Chelsea have won it 5 times in a row, and if anything, look even stronger this season. If they do ever have a blip, Chelsea, it tends to come in the first few weeks. Just hasn't happened this term. Even if they've not been playing quite so brilliantly, they have won all their matches. Bad luck everybody else, it would appear so far. Mariona Caldente, she's beaten Chelsea before in a Barcelona shirt. Couldn't beat you for money and then though. Janssen and Letitia. A goalless first quarter, and to be honest, a chanceless first quarter. Certainly quiet for the keepers. Maybe there's a little bit of apprehension while it's 0-0 because both sides know there's so little room for error in a short league campaign. Manchester United won 18 of their 22 league games 2 seasons ago, and it still wasn't enough to win the title. Manchester City won 19 last term and lost out to Chelsea on goal difference. Chance for Arsenal, the counter here. Russo, strong. Nelson did enough to at least hold her up, if not win the ball. This is Frida Maanum. Lovely ball in, and a glancing header off Millie Turner, and it'll be an Arsenal corner. Real teaser. Ford might have got there round the back. Headed in, cleared partially and then fully. Catley doesn't score many, but her aerial presence still wins a lot of those. Her 5th season now as a gunner, played in every league match, starting most of them last term. Mariona Caldente into Leah Baltic. Another good ball, and the header is close. And a perfect angle of it there. Valentalis Joyce Wasn't sure which side of the post it was going. Frida Marnham has 4 goals this term, 2 in the Champions League and 2 in the league. And got the early opener against Manchester City, as well as the 1-0 winner against Leicester City. Really difficult headers, those. And this is the moment before when Catley got up and won it, and Millie Turner just about, followed by Letitia, cleared the United lines. Williamson looking for that run again of Mariona Caldente. Up and out, Gabby George. Bizet losing out to Dalty there. And pass between Mannion and McCabe. Something's got to happen. Oh dear. It's controlled by Celine Bizet. Kim Little rides the challenge. And Marnham couldn't control it. Could have been an opportunity, that. If that ball had stuck, I think it would have been. George. Fox's header actually kept it in for Ella Toon. And now the cross is a deep one, and it's a bit too deep. And the flag was up anyway. And Elizabeth Turland. Real breakthrough campaign. Last term scored 13 times, including one against Manchester United. Banging in the goals for Brighton. You'd think it would be a big miss to lose her, and in one sense it is, but they've recruited a lot, Brighton, up top. Scored twice in a minute, right before half-time in a home win against Tottenham here. Turland, that's a dangerous ball. And it's Marnham again, but on the stretch, that was near enough impossible. Might look like a good chance at first glance, but I don't think it was. Always such a welling runner, Alessia Russo. Gets through so much work as a forward. That's why she rarely finishes games. Putting in absolutely everything for 60-odd, 70-odd minutes. Tending to make way. Used to be for Rachel Williams when she played here for United. Beautifully done by Clinton. An important sliding challenge from George. Turner into Clinton again, crowded out by the Arsenal midfield axis, Falty and Little. fairly low-key so far. His side almost always score. Even last term, when they ended up a hugely disappointing 5th, not just behind the top 3 other challenges, but behind Liverpool. They scored in 31 of their 33 games in all competitions. The only 2 blanks coming in end-of-season defeats to Liverpool and Chelsea. Mannion encouraged to get up high. And here she is again. Bizet having come from the central position to the wing, and she's played it off Katie McCabe. She'll let that run. United's throw. Marnham wanted to play out, might regret it. Letitia to Turner, cheap turnover. And that's a good ball from Turner. And Bizet with the cross. Header on target for Turland. New recruits to the fore, definitely onside. Signing from Tottenham, picking out the signing from Brighton. And that's probably the first serious thing that Daphne van Domselaar has had to do with their gloves. Now with the ball at her feet. Summer signing from Aston Villa, Daphne van Domselaar, Dutch international regular. 6 seasons at FC Twente before moving to Aston Villa in the WSL. Regular title winner with Twente. I hope to be that with Arsenal. The competition is strong, of course. Caitlin Ford lets that one roll, and the Gunners have another corner. First time the crowd have gone quiet. Katie McCabe usually very good with these. That one is confidently grabbed by Tullis Joyce. Not so much a bad corner, just good penalty box presence from the American keeper. Emily Fox scored in game 1 under Renée Slegers, the Champions League winner against Vålerenga. There were 2 more winnable games, the first 2 that Arsenal played under her. Prior to that, though, simply not good enough. Not terrible against Chelsea, but lost. Got hit for 5 by Bayern. Writing on the wall, I think, once that happened. They led in that Champions League game against Bayern as well, did Arsenal, and ended up losing 5-2. You did sense if they lost to Chelsea, that might be it. That's what happened. McCabe. And Marnham in towards Russo. And sneaking in round the back was Caitlin Ford. Beautifully flighted ball from Frida Marnham. Gabby George in there with Ford. The saves we've seen have been comfortable ones, shall we say. Caitlin Ford had a great game in that defeat to Chelsea. Arsenal, in fairness, were a little unlucky in that one. She scored. They were 2-0 down when she scored, and 2-1 was how it stayed, but they were certainly banging pretty hard on the door, and Chelsea, well, they didn't look all that, but they still won. Ford has also scored 5 times in Europe, including 4 goals in 1 game against Rangers. They had to qualify in 3 separate ties, Arsenal, having come 3rd in the WSL. Marnham on the ball there was key, scoring in 2 of those 3 ties. They weren't all two-legged though, and that's why they've played a lot more football than Manchester United have this term. This is United's 6th match. It is Arsenal's 12th across all competitions. Sure-footed blind pass from captain of England, Leah Williamson. Catley trying to commit some United defenders so she could get it into Kim Little. That really worked, and there was a fairly simple ball on there from McCabe, who'd started to make the forward run. Bizet back to Maya Le Tissier. The Williamson pass has got there, just, but it got there via a touch from Grace Clinton, who was mopped up neatly. Lisa Nilsson getting regular starts, the Norwegian. Katie Zellem, so much part of the fabric of this football club, having departed after a stint that went all the way from United's creation as a club in the women's game to FA Cup glory at Wembley and everything in between. Aoife Mannion. Larson and Janssen in there. Zellem and Ladd almost every week, season upon season. It is still Turner and Le Tissier behind them, but there is a much newer look. Serena Wiegman, England coach, in the house. No wonder. There's a lot to look at here. Toon, Clinton, Le Tissier amongst others for United, and I think she knows all about Alessia Russo of Arsenal and Leah Williamson. Four minutes left of a fairly cagey first half. Again, that bustling run of Alessia Russo. That's neatly worked out. Ella Toon, their England colleague, Grace Clinton for company. And they've kept it. Toon just going a little more left, and Clinton next to her here, trying to battle onto the ball. I think that was her touch, it was. Arsenal ball. On the face of it, a drawn match against a tabletop regular like Arsenal, not the end of the world, but you can afford to drop so little points, as I mentioned earlier. Arsenal in a far worse situation in that sense, because United have had the much better start, of course. But there is something of the statement about it, you feel, if Skinner's team can win this. And he can use his squad in the League Cup matches that are ongoing. No Europe for United. Arsenal do have that. A couple of games against Juventus coming up of Arsenal amidst all the WSL games, so a much tougher schedule for them. Ethan Mannion on for Bizet. Mariona Caldente sprinting to try and catch up. She'll do well. Bizet is quick. Letitia. Williamson, well placed as ever. That really has been a theme of this half. It's good defending by good defenders. It's why we've got to 43 minutes with no goals, to be fair. They do usually entertain greatly, these two. Their matches have been crackers, generally speaking, over the last few years in this division. And this one, an odd one, in that it has been fairly low on chances. Clearly, a goal for either side changes that complexion, and I'm sure it will get far more hurly-burly and noisy, but so far a shade cautious, I think. Okay, the target found very well, and that's a good way to pass. How's the cutback? For the umpteenth time, it's a Millie Turner header away, and Arsenal haven't gone away. Katie McCabe, whose delivery is usually better than that. It's fallen nicely here for Mariona Caldente. Great chance to find a teammate. Caitlin Ford thought she was being fouled. Now added time, and no goals so far at Leigh Sports Village. Mark Skinner having a fairly quiet 100th game in charge. René Schlegers usually would say this is a good point. Whether it is longer term, who knows. Millie Turner's done a lot of defending. We've not seen a lot of necessary goalkeeping or many good chances. These two good sides rather cancelling one another out at the moment. It is Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0 at half-time. 45 to play at Leigh Sports Village, and interestingly, both coaches deciding to try and change things up. We're going to see Simi Awujo, new signing who's coming to Manchester from California for United, and we are going to see the great Beth Mead come on for Arsenal. I'm sure she'll have been disappointed not to be starting this game, but René Schlegers with her there, wanting to make something happen further forward. both need to create a bit more. That was the first half lower than expected in terms of goal-scoring opportunities. There is Simia Wujo. It is Frida Marnham who's making way for Arsenal, by the way, for Beth Mead's introduction there, as she joins the huddle. I would suggest that'll mean Mariona Caldente will move into a more number 10 role. Ford will go back to the left, where she normally operates. And Mead on the right, where she normally operates, but we shall see. Beth Mead could play in the 10, with the other two staying where they are. And Lisa Nalsund is the player making way for United to allow Simia Wujo to come on. Had a League Cup start in the win against Liverpool. But this, a big test for her. Try and get centre forward Elizabeth Turland there into the game a little more, Manchester United. Well, 2 watches for Kirsty Dow. Half-time has gone on more than 3 minutes longer than it should have done, technically speaking. As Arsenal kick off this second half, who's going to take the plunge? Maybe commit a little further upfield. Commit a few more bodies forward. Confirmation of the change there for Arsenal. Mead does indeed look like she's taken the right-sided position, so Ford flipping back to where she usually plays from the left. Wujo slotting into where Lisa Nalsson was, essentially the right-sided player in the midfield 2, next to Janssen. Here goes Ford. Sliced the shot a little bit, but just automatically looks a little more comfortable in that usual part of the pitch. Beth Mead in hers. Meadow sing the Arsenal fans. Her 1 goal this season was a big one against the other half of Manchester. An 81st minute equaliser on the opening day in that game that finished 2-2. Mead immediately getting a cross in. Clever dummy from Mariona Caldente. Russo on the turn. Needed to just turn more, really. That was a fair distance away in the end. Maybe she had a fraction longer to spin a bit more to hit that shot. Just eager to get it away. Eager to get that first WSL goal of the season too. Gabby George tucking in just in time, like all good fullbacks should. They don't always do it. Ford, good run from Kim Little here. It's a good start to this second half from Arsenal. Walking pace for Leah Williamson. Acceleration coming then from Emily Fox. Balti helping it forward, but not with any accuracy. Grace Clinton closing down Caldente. 50-50 with Dominique Janssen. Caldente has got the better of Grace Clinton. Picked out Alessia Russo, who picked out the gloves of Tallis Joyce. Letitia lost her striker then. Dangerous when that striker is Russo. Good graft from the summer signing from Barcelona there, Mariona Caldente. 3 times the Champions League winner, 5 league titles, 5 cups with Barca. Relentless and winning. Mead, Arsenal looking stronger this half for sure. And that Beth Mead cross has been received in painful fashion by Gabby George. Bit of an overhaul with the squad for him this term. Not so much for Arsenal, as Jonas Eidevall got all the signings he wanted, that's in his words, with another new deal in the summer of 23. He had a great start, the Swede, for sure. Above expectation for quite a long time. And the spring of last year, the first silverware for a while, the first silverware on his watch with the League Cup win against Chelsea, which Arsenal did again this spring, winning that final thanks to Stina Blackstenius, who once again is on the Gunners bench, doesn't seem to ever get a start. Rarely anyway when it comes to the Women's Super League. Well, sometimes these breaks in play can bring a change of momentum. Arsenal will hope not, because they've begun well this second half. United had their change with Awujo on the ball here, coming on. Have not really had any time on the ball at all since this second period kicked off. Stayed in play for Caitlin Ford. Just away from Bizet. Very simply, here's the cross, and no one is there. Clinton. Crowded out by Mead and by Fox. Mariona Caldente. Important foot in from Aoife Mannion. The pressure all coming from the Gunners here. United really cannot get out. This would not have been the plan for Mark Skinner when he made his midfield change, try and get them up higher. Quite the opposite has happened. Maya Le Tissier, maybe now. It's gone very quiet around Leigh Sports Village, but then again, Manchester United need to give them something to shout about. And I'm sure Serena Wiegmann arrived expecting a few more thrills than we've seen here thus far. Here's Awujo. Tenacious. Grace Clinton is certainly that too. The tackle coming in from Valti. Excellent is Caitlin Ford. Weaving run. No room in there. It's worth the hit. Mariana Caldente didn't do it. Valti does. You don't see that very often. Did score against Häcken in Champions League play. One WSL goal in 7 years for Leah Valti. It's not necessarily because she can't finish. It's more because she gives the ball to other people. She's not often right up there. That is a great hit. Look how close this was. I think it shaved the post. It did. That one goal in 7 years was just over 2 years ago against Liverpool in this division. More than 6 years with Arsenal now, and 5 years at top level in Germany with Turbine Potsdam before that. Beth Mead has been typically busy since her introduction, and she's drawn the foul here from Gabby George. Arsenal have a free kick. I don't think Grace was listening. Good ball. Can Arsenal turn this early second half pressure into something? Still, Manchester United cannot get out. I don't think Elizabeth Telland has touched the ball in 11 minutes here. Fox. Russo against Turner, and Russo wins the battle. What about the war? Free kick given. And a caution for Millie Turner. Cynical challenge, because Russo had got the better of her, definitely. Two players who will know each other's game so well, training up against one another every day. One in cards, with Kim Little cautioned in the first half. Mead is there for the right foot, Katie McCabe for the left. I've seen her whip these all the way in. It's a dangerous angle. It's not a dangerous enough ball. Maya Letitia allowed to head it because it was too close to her. Caldente with the shot. Little heads it back into the mix. Mead is in there. Russo with Mead to her left. Mariana Caldente, nice dummy. They're just kicking it and heading it away, Manchester United, but they're in and around their own D the whole time. And as long as they are, and until they're bold enough to come out, they're never going to get out. You can't believe it'll be this way for the whole half, or if it does, something will have to give. Now, Arsenal have really got to take advantage while they've got them pinned in here. Lovely way to pass. Fox with the latest cross. Janssen, and there you go, another hurried clearance, didn't get the shout. This is what happens when you're under the pump a little bit. Grace Clinton could have controlled that and had 3 touches if she'd wanted to, but just lashed her leg at it. A little bit flustered. Now Maya Letizia has gifted it to Caitlin Ford. That is a big tackle, but the danger's not over. She's managed to get there in the end, Maya Letizia. Caitlin Ford, for her, it's a real waste of an opportunity. They've basically had 15 minutes to themselves in this United half. Arsenal. It hasn't really led to Fallon Tullis-Joyce having to do much. Maybe now. Caldente. Valti. Finding herself on the right wing.
Substitution for Manchester United, replacing.
And I'm not surprised at this at all. Seen enough. It's not about the individuals, it's about the plan, I think. And Jade Riviere, 40 for Mannion at right back, is the first change. But we're also going to see Melvin Mallard. Ella Toon making way. That is more of a surprise. In fairness, in that role, she has not been her usual dangerous self, but you could say that about United in general going forward. And it looks like Grace Clinton will play in that number 10 role, if you like, for Manchester United that Toon was in, and Mallard's going to play on the, or from the left side of the attack. Coaches don't always do things as quickly as that, and I think fans certainly like it when they do. It's not working, change it. No point in leaving it to 80 minutes when the picture might have shifted anyway. Arsenal's job is to keep them back there, and they have done. Very neatly done. Fox pulls it back, and look who scored here again. Alessia Russo. Manchester United legend, Arsenal's opening goal scorer. They've absolutely deserved it. For 15 solid minutes of pressure at the start of this second half. And this big game at the business end of the Barclays Women's Super League has the opening goal it has needed for a while. And now this will be interesting. Really well made. Emily Fox at the heart of it. Good run, good cut back. And the finish, although not that powerful, was accurate enough from Russo. Scored so many big goals for Manchester United, including in big games against Arsenal. Now, the boot is on another foot, and United have a big problem. Her first league goal of the season, and of course it has come here. Well, played 2-1-2 before this. Vålerenga and West Ham beaten, but an away win at Manchester United, who've been so good this term. That really would start the drums beating a little louder. It's the first time United have been behind this season, by the way, and they're trying to get level here straight away. Well, that cross looked like it just went straight over Gabby George. It's come off the head, I've seen it, says Kirsty Dow. It's a corner. Which Grace Clinton will take. Now there's urgency, and there needs to be. Well, that's not good enough. Straight at Van Domselaar. One simple semi-diving stop from a Turland header. That's all his side have created for Daphne Van Domselaar to have to do. Sixth game this season in all competitions, and his side haven't trailed until now. Let's see what they're made of. Fox is on the charge again. It's a bit on the strong side, but Mead will get there and do brilliantly well to get the cross in. There's Russo again as well. That's superb from Mead. And well meriting a thumbs up. All-time most assists in the Women's Super League, Beth Mead. Technically difficult to do that. Just about got to the ball in time. Needed a bit less on the Fox pass, to be truthful. Might have been an even better cross. Well, the scoreline has changed. And Manchester United have made further changes in personnel, but the flow of the game is still left to right, bar that one corner a moment ago that United forced, and to be fair, I don't think they should even have had that. "12 league goals in her first United campaign, Alessia Russo in the WSL. Their top scorer, no surprise there. And that one, can't keep her out of the action, was always slicing well wide. Tullis Joyce did put in the dive, but a long way from the target. They might need another bit of late heroics from the evergreen Rachel Williams at this rate, Manchester United. So often the super sub supreme. Arsenal are much the better side here right now. First half was fairly even. Maybe Arsenal shaded it, but second half, one-way traffic. For an old football cliche, maybe United right now, well, they're trying to regroup. There for the taking. Can Arsenal get a second here? Russo got there, Catley, and then Caldente, Valti. Got to get up the pitch. It's so deep. They will never get on the ball unless they get up the field, United. It'd be braver to do it. Into Williamson this time. She's up the pitch. Home fans are beginning to get a bit restless, and I'm not that surprised, to be fair. Because this isn't anymore a 5-10 minute spell from Arsenal, it's 25 minutes. Given away to Awujo. And that's a good turn. Janssen. Even that, simple passes. They are so off-key here, Manchester United. I mean, you can come here as a guest and you can win, maybe, but it doesn't happen that often. You expect a tough examination and to have to get the bodies on the line and defend well, and your keeper to have a good game, but 71 minutes in, this is more comfortable, or as comfortable as any 1-0 could be, which is not generally that comfortable, and Arsenal could never have expected this. Inside Mallard is Fox. This is Arsenal's right back again, who made the goal. And again, the ball out towards Turlin. Cannot make it stick. Not got Alatoon on the field. Rujo and Janssen aren't getting Mallard and Turland and Clinton the ball. Gabby George here, under pressure, and well might Arsenal squeeze. George has done well to get that up the line, but not to a teammate. All we've seen until that moment of Melvin Mallard has been defending in her own half. It was a good pass towards Bizet, who's not up to the pace of this, I'm afraid. Needs to be an outlet out there. Last couple of seasons it's been Paris or Lucia Garcia, both now departed. I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Skinner makes another change before too long here. Even if it's Rachel Williams to come on up top and try and bash some defenders around a bit. I don't know if Fallon Tullis-Joyce has got a problem, or is it more a tactical one to bring a chance for a chat? Well, there's your answer. Rachel Williams will be coming shortly by the looks of things. And it will be so her to turn the tide in what has been a very one-sided second half. He would massively hope not to have to use her in that fashion. There's the match winner in waiting. At a ground where her goals have won so many games. Clearly, seriously low-key celebrating, as is the norm these days against the former club. Scored a 3-2 stoppage time winner at Arsenal, scored a 1-0 winner here for United against Arsenal. I'd be very surprised if there's anything seriously wrong with Fallon Tullis-Joyce. But it has enabled a little timeout and a regroup on the touchline with around 19-20 minutes to play. It's a rare stoppage. They'll let the coach off, I suspect, if they can get a result here. As unlikely as that feels right now. Fox has been excellent, taking Mallard the other way. Very quiet home support. Now, maybe something for them to get excited about here. Grace Clinton with a neat turn. Kirsty Dow was right there, says no foul. Mead. Catley, look at that for a weight of pass. That was difficult. It's got them up the pitch. Russo running the channel. Letitia with the clearance, and here comes that change.
Substitution for Manchester United, replacing number 19, Elizabeth Turner.
And it is a straight swap up top, but it's not the only change.
Number 23, James.
Jace, the Brazilian, is on. Celine Bizet is off. Not been able to affect this game at all. Rachel Williams is on. 36, still awesome. She started one game this season, it was a cup game. She scored against Liverpool. Her 41 league appearances for Manchester United. They've had 39 coming as a substitute with 9 goals. I mentioned earlier, Alessia Russo tends not to finish games, such is the level of work rate, and she's not going to finish this one, but she departs with this as the telling moment thus far. And Stina Blackstenius will take her place. Stina Blackstenius scored her first Arsenal goal against Manchester United on her birthday in her first season, a 1-1 equaliser, a match where Katie McCabe was sent off, having just joined. Jace, although she actually came on for Turland, they don't really care whose numbers they put up there. Jace has effectively come on for Bizet on the right side, and of course Williams is the centre forward replacing Turland in that sense. From the interval until a couple of minutes ago, Mark Skinner has made all of his 5 changes. And he'll be slightly perplexed that he's not seeing a bit better output from them. As we all are, really. Here's Jace. A little bit of home noise and some encouragement here. Jace scored the opener in the opening season win against West Ham. In on that right flank now. There's Rachel Williams doing Rachel Williams' thing. I said she might get up there and bully him around a bit. The Arsenal bench weren't happy with the challenge. You can understand that. They were moaning about it more than the England captain was, who gets a knee on that. You got to love Rachel Williams, straight on and doing what she does. Caldente's ball below her usual standard there. That was a moment of promise, and that one was even worse, giving it to Mallard. Great skill. Look at that. It's the most attacking thing we've seen from her since she came on. She's had to be back there. It's no criticism of her at all, but she's had to deal with Mead and Fox. All of her work's been happening in her own half. Desperate to try and make something happen going forward, and she did there. Well, they're 10 minutes, maybe 15 away from travelling south. Very happy indeed. So good for so long in this league. Rachel Williams has scored 6 times in the WSL against Arsenal for all of her previous clubs, and there have been many, but not yet for Manchester United. Letitia up high. Now Riviere up high. We literally haven't seen that in 36 second half minutes. Owuju, not the best control, but Williams has got there. They finally got the red and black shirts up the field here. Jace giving something Arsenal to worry about. They have a corner now, Manchester United. And despite being completely dominated for half of what we've seen in this game, they are absolutely in this contest. As it stands, these two will only be a point apart into this, with Arsenal overtaking Manchester United. There is Williams! She always makes an impact. It may not go down as her goal. It's almost every time. His side don't deserve it. He will make no bones about that, I am sure, at full time. They got themselves up the field, they won the corner. Williams, Mallard, a little bit of Van Domselaar. She couldn't keep it out. It's definitely Mallard's goal. But it's only because of Rachel Williams winning that header in and amongst a whole cluster of Arsenal players who are moaning about offside and a nudge. Doesn't matter. It's 1-1. And just like that, United go back above Arsenal in the table. Now, who's going to be brave enough to go for the winner? Super subs, I think we should say, to be clear. It's just that glancing touch, because Van Domselaar would have had it from the Williams header. Well, the subs have worked eventually, boss. Relief, I'm sure, as much as pleasure. Melvie Mallard has not played since she scored in that cup win against Liverpool a month ago. But he's back in with a cameo from the bench today. I should think she'll be starting next time out. United are here again against Villa. When the touch comes that close to you, as it did for Daphne Van Domselaar, there's just not enough reaction time. I guess it might look like a bit of a flap. Maybe she could have come and tried to catch the Williams header ahead of Mallard, but she was in her way. Not a lot you could do there, I don't think. And look at that, suddenly the 50-50s are being won by United, apparently illegally so. Fox caught by Simi Owuju, who's not complaining about it. Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Even pulled the leg back, having got the toe in. That is never a free kick, but it's been given as one. Blackstenius, good pass. Fox shaped as if she was going to cross. Caldente puts it in low. Cut back towards Blackstenius. That is a good challenge. Kirsty Dow being alerted to the fact that there may be an injury in the United box here. But no, Turner is up again. At the moment, the only winners here are City and Chelsea. Given where they were a few minutes ago and how they've been playing, United, I guess now, would have to say they'd take the point. Arsenal will be gutted to have lost two. Suddenly, tackles being won by Manchester United. Decisions going their way. And Katie McCabe, who's got some history, has also got a yellow card. And one of Arsenal's most regular offenders in terms of the cautions, sent off against United before now. There was certainly nothing more than that about it, but the card out for her for that.
Substitution for Arsenal, replacing number 10, Kim Little.
And Kim Little making way now for Arsenal. It's anyone's. All three results seem possible now. Kyra Cooney-Cross is on.
Replacing number 8,
Mariona Caldente has not had one of her better games, actually. Rosa Kafaji taking her place.
And replacing number 19, Caitlin Ford, is number 17.
In fact, it's a treble change. Nina Hurtig is on as well for Caitlin Ford. Not a lot of time for them to make an impact, but let's see. As Rennie Slegger's got the magic touch as well. First up, the job is to defend, because Jace has won another corner. She's done more in an attacking sense in 10 minutes. And Celine Bizet did, playing further up that right flank today in 70-odd. Just couldn't get themselves up the pitch. Or chose not to, or maybe a bit too timid about doing so. Either way, they're in it now, all right. They could yet nick it. In comes the latest corner, and Mallard is there again. Williams was lurking. Millie Turner, who every now and then will pop up with a goal that tends to be massive. Van Domselaar safely there. 2 minutes and stoppage time. Chase was cautioned as well with the fracas involving Katie McCabe. Mead and Williams, neither of them are ever going to give any quarter. Jace again. Tough to do anything from there, really. Well, it was all fine when I was on the pitch, says Alessia Russo.
The referee has indicated a minimum of 6 minutes.
6 added minutes, and we're into the first of them now. Is there time for a hero? Maya Letitia. Melvin Mallard won't get that.
It's a record attendance here at Leigh Sports Village today of 8,348. Thank you very much.
You may have just heard over the public address system a record attendance here, 8,348 at Leigh Sports Village. Tell you what, most of them will have seen their team play an awful lot better than this, more often than not. If it is to be a point, it could yet be a big one. Blackstenius with a really dangerous ball and tucking in well, Jade Riviere with Lena Hurtig. His chances have been few and far between for Arsenal since coming from Juve a couple of summers ago. Well, she was lurking and she was interested. Blackstenius back in towards Hurtig, who did well to get there. Oh, Leah Williamson. Left or right would have been fine, but it's up the middle, and Fallon Tullis-Joyce was blocking the route to goal. Four to play. Catley, Van Domselaar, who must have come here thinking she'd have a busy game. I can't believe she's ever had a quieter one. The ball's gone past her, crucially. Keely Cross just overdoing it there, and it's led to Melvin Mallard winning a free kick, and United, if they're feeling adventurous, could flood the box here. Can you imagine if they'd pinched it now, United, to the way this second half has gone? It's a good effort at keeping it in from Awujo. Her fifth appearance for her new club in this division. They've all come as a sub. Williams for Jace. Mallard is in the middle, so's Grace Clinton. You want Williams in there, really. The Brazilian Jace trying to find some room. Not many will bump Rachel Williams off the ball like that. Maya Letitia will win that race against Blackstenius with ease. We got 2 added minutes to play. Williamson allowed to come so far. Well watched, Gabby George. Janssen overhits it. Clinton hopping mad in frustration. They're really going to commit now with a minute and a bit to go, Arsenal. They just take their medicine. Internally fuming a bit that they couldn't quite hold on in a game they were so comfortable in. As I mentioned earlier, you can never be fully comfortable, clearly, at 1-0 up. But as 1-0 go, it really was oddly easy. Here's Hurtig. Dangerous ball. Letitia is there. Riviere. Rooney cross. Valti into Steph Catley. Now Lena Hurtig in the final seconds. If it's going to happen, it's going to have to happen from this corner that Jade Riviere has been forced into conceding. Good work from Lena Hurtig. .96 played. Here we go. This is the game. Here and now. Look at that 6-yard box. Valentalis Joyce came. Valti! Oh, what a strike from the least likely striker. And it's the last action. You couldn't have had a more unlikely match winner. Leah Valti was nearly that. Mark Skinner's 100th game did not bring him much of a performance from his side, but it is honours even, despite the game being far from it. Pretty level, low-key first half. Arsenal so dominant after the break. Russo's goal against her former club looking like being enough for a very long time. United way below par for the whole second half till the changes.